にちは皆さん、お元気ですか? Hello, how are you? Today grammar video number 51 of JLPT N4. In the previous video, we learned 移行形 and と思います。移行形, this is volitional verb. But today we are going to study volitional verb and と思っています。In both cases, this is to express my volition because we use this form, 移行形, the volitional form. The difference between と思います and と思っています is the duration of the time of this thought or this idea. It means when we use と思います then the idea has just come to my mind the moment of speaking. It means, I think I'm going to do it. But when I speak in this moment, I just thought it. But when we use と思っています this idea has been in my mind for some period of time. It means I've been thinking I was going to do this. I've been thinking. So some period of time this idea was in my mind. And the other very important difference is when we use と思います this is the first person. It means I. But when と思っています you can use this also in the third person too. Let's see with some examples. The first, next year I'm going to Japan. 来年日本へ行きます。来年日本へ行きます。That was in must form. It means I'm affirming this. I'm going to Japan next year. Now, 移行形 and と思います This means I think I'm going to Japan next year. The moment I'm talking this, I think this. 来年日本へ行こうと思います。来年日本へ行こうと思います。Now the same sentence with 移行形 and と思っています。In this case, I've been thinking about going to Japan next year. 来年日本へ行こうと思っています。来年日本へ行こうと思っています。Now I'm going to use the third person. In this case, Seito, my pupil. My pupil is thinking about going to Japan next year. 生徒さんは来年日本へ行こうと思っています。生徒さんは来年日本へ行こうと思っています。This same meaning with the third person with と思います。It's not possible. We can't use と思います with third person. To have animals or to have animals as a pet or to take care of animals, to raise your animals. We say this verb, 飼います。You must be careful with other 飼います。The same intonation in must form. And this is also the group 1. And this 飼います with this kanji, this means to buy. But in te form, the intonation is different, but the same. か small 2 and te. Te form of the verb to buy, 買います this is 買って but this one to have the animals, this is 飼って飼って the same as in 他 form 買います to buy 買った but 買います this one in 他 form 買った ない form is also different. To buy, I don't buy. 買わない、タンタンタン、買わない。But I don't have a pet. 買わない、タンタンタン、買わない。And in the dictionary form, to buy, 買う、タンタン、買う。But animals, to have animals, 買う、買う、買う。So only in must form, the intonation is the same. 買います、買います。Now let's see some examples using this sentence. 猫を飼います。 I wanna have a cat. 猫 this 猫 here also we repeat this one. 猫 here also this pink one. And now green one, 買おう. This is the volitional form of the verb 買います. 買おう and here is also the same 買おう. I think I wanna have a cat. This means the moment I'm talking this, this idea has come to my mind. 猫を飼おうと思います。猫を飼おうと思います。猫を飼おうと思う。In this sentence, only the first person is possible. So I'm talking about to myself because this is 思います。As I explained you in previous video, if the second person, you, then I can use this 思います, but only in the question form. I've been thinking about having a cat. 猫を飼おうと思っている。猫を飼おうと思っています。You can use 思っている this one in the third person. So this time the sentence is with 私の娘 my daughter. My daughter has been thinking about having a cat. 私の娘は猫を飼おうと思っています。私の娘は猫を飼おうと思っています。We can also use dictionary form 辞書形 with と思います、と思っています。Even with dictionary form, also the difference between と思います、と思っています is the same as before. It means と思います。The moment I speak, in this moment, I think so. But と思っています I've been thinking for some period of time. But the nuance is different when we use with 辞書形 and 意向形. When we use with 辞書形, that I'm thinking about just the future that I think it's gonna be like this. But 意向形 in this one is always I express my volition. I suppose I might have a cat. In this case, we use here dictionary form. And this is not so sure, and also this is not my volition. 猫を飼うと思う。猫を飼うと思います。猫を飼うと思う。But now this is very important. You can't use here dictionary form and と思っている。This is not correct. In this case, you must use instead of 辞書形, always must be 意向形 volitional form. 猫を飼うと思っています。これは間違いです。絶対に使わないでください。その代わりに猫を飼おうと思っています。これが正しいです。Now with the third person, this is also a little bit complicated. Till here, I said all these sentences without 私は this subject, because in Japanese we usually don't use 私は so it's too much. So we usually omit 私は. So I don't say 私は, but you can understand that I'm talking about myself. Here, this blue color is always the dictionary form of the verb. And what do you think about this sentence? 娘は猫を飼うと思う。娘は猫を飼うと思う。娘は猫を飼うと思います。This sentence means, I think that my daughter is gonna have a cat. と思います。This is と思います。Only I can think. This is I. This 思います we can't use with a third person. 思います。So it means I think. 私は、so in this case 私は is omitted. But I think that my daughter. 私の娘は猫を飼うと思います。I think my daughter is gonna have a cat. Now, what do you think how to say this in English? 娘は猫を飼うと思っています。と思っている。In English, I've been thinking. 思っている。The person who has been thinking, it's me. 私は this is omitted. But I've been thinking that my daughter is gonna have a cat. So if we have lots of questions, what do you mean this? Then you must think, who is thinking? When the third person is thinking, then we must use 移行形 volitional form, but not dictionary form just before と思っています。Many people get confused if we must use 移行形 volitional form or dictionary form 辞書形 before と思いますと思っています。But anyway, you can watch this video over and over, and then I think you'll get it. Now let's see other example with this sentence. Next week, I'm gonna put away a Christmas tree. At first, in mass form, it means I'm just telling that what I'm gonna do next week. Only the affirmative form. 来週、クリスマスツリーを片付けます。来週、クリスマスツリーを片付けます。At first, I'm gonna use 移行形 volitional form and と思います。I guess I'm gonna put away Christmas tree next week. 来週、クリスマスツリーを片付けようと思います。来週、クリスマスツリーを片付けようと思います。来週、クリスマスツリーを片付けようと思う。I've been thinking about putting away Christmas tree next week. 移行形と思っています。来週、クリスマスツリーを片付けようと思っています。来週、クリスマスツリーを片付けようと思っています。来週、クリスマスツリーを片付けようと思ってるの。Now I can use dictionary form 辞書形 and と思います。The first person, for example, 片付けると思います。Yeah, it means I suppose, yeah, I think I'm gonna put away. But this is not my volition. Just, I think I'll do this. But this is not volition. And dictionary form and と思っています。This is not correct. This is not possible. We can't use with dictionary form, but we must use with 移行形. This is volitional form. 片付けようと思っています。Now let's think about a third person. In this case, volitional form 移行形 and と思います。This is not correct. It's impossible to use 移行形と思います in the third person. But we can use with と思っています。My mother is thinking about putting away Christmas tree next week. お母さんは来週クリスマスツリーを片付けようと思っています。お母さんは来週クリスマスツリーを片付けようと思っています。And the complicated one is using dictionary form と思いますと思っています。But using the third person. But this means the third person is not thinking. 私は is omitted. I think my mother is going to put away Christmas tree next week. お母さんは来週クリスマスツリーを片付けると思います。お母さんは来週クリスマスツリーを片付けると思います。I've been thinking that my mother is going to put away Christmas tree next week. お母さんは来週クリスマスツリーを片付けると思っています。Maybe you can understand this sentence much better if I don't omit 私は。私はお母さんが来週クリスマスツリーを片付けると思っています。私はお母さんが来週クリスマスツリーを片付けると思っています。来週 お母さんはクリスマスツリーを片付けると私は思っています。Now let's see some more example, but this time only volitional form 移行形 and と思っています。I've been thinking in living in Japan in the future. 将来、日本に住もうと思っています。将来、日本に住もうと思っています。My elder brother is thinking about quitting cigarettes. お兄さんはタバコをやめようと思っています。お兄さんはタバコをやめようと思っています。お兄ちゃんはタバコをやめようと思ってるの。I'm thinking about watching Japanese drama series on weekend. 週末、日本のドラマを見ようと思っています。週末、日本のドラマを見ようと思っています。TV series or drama series, we say ドラマ。We have two words to say 見ます to watch or to see. This 見ます you can use all the time. Always you can see something, you can watch something. But when we use this one 見ます this is especially when you watch TV or you watch films, you watch movies, so for a long time and with lots of your attention. Then we use with this 見ます this kanji. Anyway, if you don't remember this kanji or you don't know which to use, then you can use this 見ます always, and this is okay. Even if you watch the TV, you can use with this kanji. My father is thinking about buying a new car. お父さんは新しい車を買おうと思っています。お父さんは新しい車を買おうと思っています。Now a quiz time with 3 translations into Japanese. And you are gonna use always this 移行形 volitional form and と思っています。I've been thinking in working in abroad in the future. You can use the word future, in this case, 将来 abroad, foreign countries, 外国 this kanji 国 this is 国 country, and soto is outside. So the country that is outside of here, this is 外国 abroad. My son is thinking about studying Japanese. The verb to study 勉強します。3番目、最後です。We are thinking about buying a new house. Verb to buy. This is very easy. 買います。But you must think how is the volitional form. We learned 移行形 and と思っています。This is I've been thinking for some period of time that I'm gonna do this or I will do this. I want you to remember when we use 移行形 in the first person, I myself, then I can use と思います or と思っています。But when we use the third person, then 移行形と思います this is not possible. This is not right. Only it's okay to use the third person 移行形 and と思っています。I hope this video was useful for you. Actually, I explained something a little bit complicated, but anyway, the most important thing today is that you can use volitional form and と思っています。If you liked this video, please don't forget to give me a like. And if you can share my videos with your friends, you will help me a lot. And if you didn't subscribe my channel yet, please do it. いかがでしたか？今日はと思いますと思っていますこれの違いについて見てきました。そして移行形と一緒に と思っています。この使い方をたくさん練習しました。このビデオではちょっと複雑なことも説明しましたが、分かっていただけたでしょうか。でも1回だけではちゃんと全部納得できるっていうことがないかもしれませんが、何回も何回も見てください。きっと何回か目には、ああ、わかったと、そういうふうに感じると思いますよ。このビデオが良かったなと思ってくださったら、ぜひいいねボタンとチャンネル登録忘れないでお願いいたします。そしてお友達に私のビデオを紹介してくださったら本当に助かります。ぜひお願いいたします。ではまた次のビデオでお会いできるのをとても楽しみにしています。ではまたね。